So I'll start off by doing the PIVX kind of fundamental review, just kind of give an overview of what PIVX is for you guys, kind of chime in with some of my own personal opinions on it, positive, negative, see what's going on over there, and hopefully you guys can use this as a data point on whether you guys want to invest in PIVX, stake PIVX, or maybe even get a master node for PIVX. PIVX has had a pretty good day today. It's up 11% at $4.15. We got a circulating supply of 55.8 million. Some of you might be being like, okay, well, why isn't there a total supply showing, Nick? Well, the way PIVX works, there is no max supply ever for the currency, which in most of the time is seen as a negative, but they do only have a 4% inflation rate, and if you go on their website, and that's under their frequently asked questions, they actually answer that question to combat the inflation rate. That's why they do offer staking, and then also they have some kind of complex burning mechanism where when they get a certain amount of transactions on their chain, that they actually burn some of the coins. So if you really want to look technically into what they're doing there, go over to their website to check that out. Current market cap at $231 million, which currently it ranks them at 58. I know they were much higher. I think they were in the top 20 at one point in 2017. So obviously they do have a little bit of room to grow there with only being 200 million market cap. So for you, those of you who do not know, PIVX is actually an acronym for Private Instant Verified Transaction. It was originally launched on February 1st, 2016 with the name Darknet. Obviously, it was decided to rebrand to a more professional name to PIVX after a lot of development and increased community involvement. This was done to accurately showcase the underpinnings of community ideas and beliefs hard-coded into the cryptocurrency. The prime goal of the company is to produce an advanced digital currency which is highly secure, quick, decentralized, and private to benefit all users. While they are on the way to achieving their target, some features are still under development and will appear in the near future. A couple episodes ago, guys, I did bring up PIVX's Twitter when we were talking about it, because they do have a lot of things here in the near future that are going to I think are going to have big implications for the future of PIVX, and maybe even some short-term price potential as well. The public testnet just launched March 14th. On March 29th, they're deactivating their current wallet. For March 31st, they're going to be redoing the wallet with the new UI, which we'll talk about later. And then also on April 7th starts the new proof-of-stake ZPIV that they're going to be doing, and they're actually increasing their proof-of-stake by 50% reward. So that's pretty huge for you guys that are already staking. Make sure to upgrade your wallet so you can get an additional 50%. And then they're kind of using this as an incentive to get new investors on board, new hodlers on board, and maybe even new master nodes on board, as they will be receiving more PIVX for holding the currency. PIVX privacy is created by using the Zero Coin protocol. This is a protocol represented with the ZPIV and offers theoretically untraceable transactions. With Zero Coin, PIVX users can enjoy full privacy. The PIVX implementation of Zero Coin protocol converts the publicly viewer PIV, or the PIV token, into an anonymous PIV. When users want to spend the ZPIV, it will appear in the receiver wallet like a regular PIV without showing the history of where the PIV is originated from. So in a less technical term, guys, it's more of a coin mixer. So if I send PIVX over to Matt, it's then going to mix those coins all with different wallet addresses. He will receive it, but it will not say where it came from, so that way he can't actually track back to me. It's a basic concept of private coins and private coins that use this Zero Coin protocol. I think it would be pretty important for you guys to go ahead and just type in Zero Coin protocol on Google and read the Wikipedia little excerpt paragraph on how that was created and what really that does mean. Another interesting feature of PIVX is the Swift TX, or Swift transactions. These are near instant transactions that are made possible thanks to the network of masternodes. PIVX uses this network of masternodes to make instant spending and receiving possible with transaction fees that can be fractions of a cent. This is designed to make PIVX practical for everyday use. So if you, without giving up much of your privacy, you can actually use these Swift transactions where you don't have to wait on any confirmation times. And the reason they're able to do that is because they have these network of masternodes that are then going to kind of be like, oh, it's fine, he can have the IOU because we can verify that those are in his wallet, and then they'll take them out of your wallet at a later time, but to prevent you from doing any kind of double spend stuff. So that's pretty interesting. They're kind of integrated that pretty recently. And that kind of brings me to, I think I have a page over here about their master nodes and kind of what it's like to stake over here. So somebody said PIVX masternodes are cheap now. Well, I mean, I guess that's relative to how much money you really have. You do have to have 10,000 PIVX in order to run a masternode. That's currently about $40,000. I know at the peak PIVX was what, $18 or something like that. So it's probably $180,000 to have a masternode at one point. So in relation, it is cheap. Also, though, what most coins don't offer, such as Dash, you can stake with any amount of coins. You don't have to have a masternodes. As of now, masternodes earn more rewards, obviously because they cost more to have them, but also they do have a governance vote. So the masternodes actually get to vote on projects for PIVX and kind of the future outlook of what's going on with PIVX. If you guys are interested in what kind of money you can make with the node, if you go over to pivx.cryptonode.co, that's pivx.cryptonode.co, hopefully you guys can see that. You can type in the masternode value, and it'll pump out your monthly revenue. So right now, if you have a masternode, you'll make 50.7 PIVX a month. And you can also say, hey, only got 100 PIVX that I'm willing to stake, and it'll tell you what you'll make. Right now, you'll make 0.41 PIVX. So it's nothing huge, but like I said, it does counter that 4% inflation because you are going to receive this 4% for the month, and the inflation rate is only 4% for a year. So you will be making some money by staking this, guys. Also, every 60 seconds, 5 PIVX is minted. 10% of this goes to the development pool, and the remainder is split between masternodes and stakers using the seesaw algorithm. This constantly adjusts the amount of rewards that go to each party based on the number of stakers and masternodes at any given time. So this is kind of is the breakdown of the payouts. Obviously, the masternodes get paid more, like I said. You guys something to say? Oh,
No,
I thought Matt had something to say.
No, it's all right.
And then lastly, in the future, PIVX plans to move to a community-designed governance system that will include the entire PIVX community rather than just the masternode holders. Currently, owner masternodes can vote on proposals of the PIVX network. So we're kind of talking about that is kind of one of the positives of having masternodes. You have the governance, but actually the whole community of masternodes figured that it'll be better for the decentralization and the future of PIVX if they voted through this community design governance here. If you want to learn more about the proposed governance that the masternodes did hit yes on, you can check that out over on PIVX's website as well. I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys with all the details, but I do think it is a move in the positive direction for the continued decentralization of this project. Now, we have to bring up a few negatives here before we get to the end of this, obviously. I brought this up when I did do the Verge fundamental review, is PIVX does have a rich list. Now, when you're talking about privacy coins, Monero, for example, if you go to their rich list, it doesn't exist. It says, thought you knew Monero is fundamentally private. If there is no rich list, then you are truly private. Now, after talking to some forums today about, okay, well, PIVX has this rich list, and I can see that this wallet has 1.3 million PIVX. I can also click on the address. When I click on the address, I can see his transactions. And when I click on that, I can see exactly where he sent his PIVX. So it's like, well, that's not very private to me. That took me 5 minutes, and I can start backtracking some of these wallet addresses and see what's going on there. Well, it was explained to me that the zero coin protocol that they use does mix all these wallet addresses, and that their new update that they're doing with the wallet is supposed to make it essentially completely private. So as far as the rich list goes, I'm not too positive on that, guys, so don't quote me on that. These are just obviously what some people are saying in their forum, that it is still private and that these transactions still don't provide enough information to be tracked. But like I said, I still think Monero not having a rich list is pretty important for privacy coins, but from my understanding, Monero, as of now, is the only one that does not. So if I get more information, I'll talk about PIVX here in the future. I'm sure we'll keep that going. Another negative that I used to have with PIVX is that they had poor marketing, pretty poor UI design, and a lack of active community. Really, besides their Slack channel, which was personally pretty far down on my list of resources that I go to, that was pretty active. But so far for 2018, they've really, worked on all those concerns. They're really picking up their marketing funds. They're releasing that new wallet design, the UI design. They actually reached out to the community for ideas on that, so that's really good. And now they have like 60,000 followers on Twitter. Their Reddit is way more active, so they're really touching on all those negatives. If anybody watching has some negatives with PIVX or some current concerns or red flags, please leave a comment in the comment section below, because I really kind of struggled to really find any. I do not own a ton of PIVX, but I do like and I do own a little bit, so I am a little biased, but I still try to be completely transparent with you guys and try to find whatever I can. I was really just struggling, so make sure to put that down there. Overall, I'm bullish on the privacy sector for 2018, which PIVX obviously falls into. Since PIVX is the only proof-of-stake cryptocurrency with zero-coin protocol privacy features, investors looking for regular returns via minting and staking may become heavy investors on this coin, which will obviously increase the demand, decreasing the supply, and hopefully increasing the price for all the investors out there. Now, I think there is some intense competition in the privacy space, and Monero, in my opinion, is still the #1 privacy currency and will win the majority of all privacy holdings here in the future. But with all that being said, there's no reason that PIVX cannot be successful here in the ecosystem, that we can't see some really nice gains out of it. And I think it's definitely worth looking into. And if you decide to buy some, definitely make sure you're staking it or getting a masternode, guys. I think Todd probably has the chart up over there. We can take a quick look at that and move forward with the show.
No, I don't. I was looking at a few other things.
You're supposed to be on top of this, Tom.
PIVX USD.
There we go.
I mean, same type of chart, came down to support at 350, caught it here and then sprung it here, trying to dig out of here. So I guess the blue line is kind of the line that Matt and I put on here just for kind of consistent growth. So, with any luck, maybe do a 750 somewhere out of here, maybe. Bitcoin does the same.
Make BTC Daily says Monero is also mineable. Yeah, their GP, that's one reason I do think that they're going to win out. Number one, I think their privacy is a little better than all these other privacy coins out there personally. The thing that does hold Monero back is its transactions are kind of slow, and currently their fees are pretty high. So with PIVX, for example, you have almost instant transactions with the Swift TX system they have, and also very low transaction fees, which kind of would make it more usable for the everyday user. But then also Monero is very decentralized because it does GPU mining and CPU mining. And currently, right now, if you're on YouTube, Google is probably mining Monero right now. That's been proven. So, I mean, it is what it is, guys. I think Monero is going to be the #1, but there's no reason that some of these other privacy coins can't stand tall either.